And I'm actually at the African American Chamber of Commerce of New Jersey, correct?
That's correct.
And wanted to stop here, especially because we talk a lot about black-owned businesses and the state of the state of black businesses and entrepreneurship. And I thought no better person to talk to was Mr. John Harmon, who is the
President CEO.
president and CEO of the African American Chamber of
Well, the
Commerce.
African American Chamber of Commerce in New Jersey serves as the voice, if you will, for the 60,000 African American businesses in the state. We drive an economic agenda that will strengthen and sustain African American businesses and, as well as communities where African Americans live. We do it every day with all our heart and soul because we believe that by bringing greater awareness to the existence of African American businesses and having them participate in the economy, it makes the state
What
better.
are some of the benefits of people, the businesses get from joining the Chamber of Commerce?
I think it's an excellent question. The primary benefit that they get is the advocacy. We advocate for participation of our members as well as the African American community at the government level, at the corporate level, and with the financial institutions. So we serve as the means of facilitating commerce, connecting our members to economic opportunity, bringing support and resources to our members to help them grow. At the end of the day, man, what we do is we contribute to a member's success. I personally try to customize a strategy to meet the needs of each member. Everyone's situation is a little different, so there's not one size fit all. Some members need to have access to capital. Some members need to have a marketing strategies. Some members just need to have a venue to network and to meet folks or to have a meeting with a particular company that they have not been able to gain access to. But the overriding objective of the organization is to impact their business in a way that a year from now that they're in a better position than they were when they
I
arrived.
read a report, and I can't remember what it was, but our gross revenue accounts for only like 4.4% of the business dollars collected in the United States. What are some of the solutions that we can talk? Well, first of all, what's the state of our businesses, and how do we improve that?
The state of our business is we're in a mess.
Mm-hmm.
That's the long and short of it, and we've been in a mess for a long time because I firmly believe that the model in the African American community has been incorrect. In other words, having the black church be the driver of the major issues in our community. I think that the church plays a critical role as a resource partner, but not driving economics in the African American community. This is why the African American Chamber is so important. The Chamber of Commerce traditionally has been the driver of economic opportunity. So we're hoping to forge a structural shift in our community and in partnership with the church, the NAACP, the urban leagues, fraternals, sorority, Mason organizations, so that we can talk about commerce. They talk about black revenue, and I think they make an interesting point, but what they don't take into account is our huge consumer spend. We spend $1.2 trillion a year across America. Black businesses only generate $100 billion. So that tells me that we have $1 trillion deficit in our community. If we spend more of that money that we're spending with everyone else, our businesses would not only grow, but they would be able to sustain themselves over time. The other alarming statistic is that about 95% of African American businesses across the United States are sole proprietor. That means that there's a one man, one woman shop. They're not hiring. So as I said earlier, if we could take the monies that we are underwriting success and prosperity for all these other groups that set up businesses in our community, giving them the grandiose lifestyle, and have us going from panhandling, we must change that. We're propping up a lot of corporations, particularly in the cosmetic industry. All the money we spend on the hair, and I think Chris Rock hit it on the button. We're making everybody rich and not spending it on ourselves, investing in our own businesses. So one of the quick solutions is having a little more discipline on who we patronize. I'm not saying patronize the business just because the person is black, but if they offer a quality product, a quality service at a competitive price, I think we should afford them an opportunity for consideration.
How do you answer this question when people say, supporting black-owned businesses, having these campaigns to support black-owned businesses may be a separatist way of thinking or a divisive way of thinking? How do you handle that question when you get it?
Well, I'll put it to you this way: there's the Latino merchant, or the Chinese merchant, or the Caucasian merchant. Do they refuse our dollar when we walk in their stores? Back in the Tulsa, Oklahoma days and the Jim Crow era, we patronized our own. So I'm not saying spend 100% with us. We can't do this in a vacuum. But on the reverse side, we can't spend $9 out of 10 with everybody else and only spend $1 with us. That equation is an equation for disaster and pure economic devastation. So we can't do that because they don't do
How do we
that.
position ourselves globally? What are some strategies that you've seen, or what should we be thinking about, as our economy becomes a lot more global?
Well, number of ways. Our consumer spend is underwriting the success and prosperity of multinational companies. So we're already participating, we're just not getting any benefit. So the National Black Chamber, which I'm a member of, we have probably about 9 international affiliates: Africa, Costa Rica, France, you name it, Jamaica. We're there. So we're already connected and nationally. Technology in the 21st century could put you in any part of the world that you want to be, trading, buying, et cetera, et cetera. So I think it starts with believing that you can participate.
What does it mean to you when we're talking about being black and supporting black businesses and our blackness? What does that mean to you?
Well, I'm black. and I've been black ever since I've been on this earth. And at the end of the day, there's a certain level of pride. As I reflect on where I came from, my ancestry, all the trials and tribulations that they endured. Many of my ancestors built this country. We put the United States of America on the map. So therefore, I make no apologies for that. And that we have equity in this country. The irony is that we're giving it a lot of it away. The other challenge is connecting our young people with our history. They have no frame of reference, and therefore their level of self-esteem is not at the level that many of us, our ancestors were, and our family members back in the 40s and the 50s. Because they live based on a certain foundation. And that foundation gave them courage, gave them strength, gave them wisdom, but also propelled them and perpetuated them into society in a way that folks will never forget. Because when you meet a black person, you never forget them, good or bad.